Good afternoon and welcome to the press conference following now our today's event, Our Baltic, dedicated to the Baltic Sea. Happy to welcome here Commissioner Sinkevičius, who will do the opening statement and then I will go to your questions. Commissioner.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone, and of course, thank you very much for tuning in. Today it's been a very busy morning, but I would say that a great success overall. Today we tried to find a way forward for the Baltic Sea. There is an urgent need for action. As you probably know, 97% of the sea is suffering from eutrophication. Some fishing stocks are exhausted, and inflows of waste and pollutants make it one of the most polluted seas on the planet. Our ambition is to deliver a clean, healthy and productive sea, and today we made progress along the road. There is a strong EU framework in place to protect it, and with partners like HELCOM, Baltfish and the Baltic Sea Advisory Council, we are all together striving to achieve the same objectives. Today we brought together for the first time ever the region's ministers for agriculture, maritime economy and environment. We looked for ways to reinforce our approach in a comprehensive and integrated way. And today we determined to address the major problems that plague the sea. First of all, of course, eutrophication, unsustainable fishing, and marine litter. So firstly, a couple of words on eutrophication. We agreed to address all nutrient inputs with all the means at our disposal, both in the EU and regionally in the Baltic. As tackling pollution from agriculture will be a priority, it will also help to deliver a sustainable and efficient farming. Secondly, we committed to seek for a more sustainable fisheries. We agreed to bolster cooperation between environmental and fisheries organizations in the region and to achieve the objectives of the common fisheries policy. I would like to stress that it is not only about stepping up our efforts to reduce bycatch. We have reached an extremely important commitment to achieve good environmental status in relation to seabed integrity and to reduce the footprint of bottom contacting fishing gears when it is necessary. Finally, we agreed to reach a better progress on marine litter, a full implementation of single-use of plastics directive, and comply with packaging and packaging waste rules under EU law would be a start. But there was also an agreement on the need to adhere to the new rules on port reception facilities. These are the main points, but there are much more in declaration of intent that was signed just after ministerial discussion, and of course it's open for public. I would say it shows strength and resolve. For me, the most important that we very clearly show the signal that what happens on land can end up in the sea. And we cannot approach cleaning and improving ecosystems' health status with a single approach. We need to be united among member states and united among different ministries and, of course, different portfolios. So the Commission is showing that resolve with the European Green Deal and through the integrated actions to be found in strategies for biodiversity, farm to fork, and our forthcoming zero pollution ambition. And the member states have delivered in the form of this declaration. It now falls to the Commission to monitor these achievements and publicly report on progress. In short, a day of productive discussions, but a day that found unity in the end. Unity in the desire for a better Baltic, a healthy sea, teeming with life, a sea to respect and to preserve for generations to come. Thank you very much.
Can I ask you, Commissioner, what is your biggest takeaway from today? What is it that you would want to do next based on the discussions of today?
First of all, the biggest takeaway is, of course, the political willingness. I'm thankful for, of course, all of the speakers, to scientists, to NGOs, to representatives of the sectors who have direct link with the Baltic Sea, for their excellent presentation and speeches, which I think was truly informative. But most importantly, of course, in the end of the day, I'm happy that we reached an agreement. And that agreement is just a framework of that EU legislation, which is already in place, if fully implemented, can achieve a terrific progress. Secondly, I'm happy that we agreed to mobilize resources for this progress. And thirdly, of course, I'm truly happy to see ministers of environment working together and agreeing with ministers of agriculture on this progress. Because, as I said, seen many formats which were great, but there was mostly only ministers of environment. I think we have to work together and help and look for best practices to our farmers to help them to achieve their activities to be done in a sustainable manner. And that only can be done working together with the ministers of agriculture. And I'm truly thankful to them for joining us, of course, today as of ministers of environment, who were those giving a strong boost to the whole declaration.
Thank you, Commissioner. If you would want to maybe go into more details about the discussions that you had with the ministers today on the different elements which are different in each member state.
So, ministers' interventions were very good, very well structured, looking at different aspects and addressing, as I said, 3 main issues. So eutrophication first, and here ministers were very clear that declaration is a good step, but we need to move on. And one of the major things, of course, is monitoring the output and then cutting pollution at source. Which is, I think, the best way forward. Secondly, of course, ministers were very much committed with the matching the fishing efforts with basically what's in the sea with the fish, and so fish in sustainable manner within the MSY level, of course, respecting in full scientific advice. And then what was very good to hear is, of course, implementation of CFP. And here, when we discussing the future EMFF, I think for that implementation, those funds can be perfectly used because it's a public money, it's a small fund, but we want to achieve a public goal, policy which drives our fishing activities. So we had a very good understanding and agreement on that. And of course, thirdly, marine litter. And I'm truly happy with the recent achievements where we sort of set concrete numbers regarding the marine litter. But I think the most importantly is job done to prevent litter from ending up in the sea, landing up on the land. And here again, ministers were very firm with their commitments, which is all embedded in declaration. Most importantly, I truly like that the ministers were all talking about the follow-up action, about the following up on the ground, and so that we not end our work with declaration, but we follow up with the Commission reports later on how the declaration is implemented. And I think the great moment is going to be already next year when the HELCOM is going to review its plans. Yes, it's not covering all of the issues, but it's going to be a great floor to additionally discuss what have been achieved since the declaration is signed, what progress member state did, and how it reflects on our Baltic.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.